you, bro.
Let's do
Seriously.
it, man. That's the plan. I'm building a village.
Yeah.
People, I
Oh,
already
shoot, we're live.
Why you mess the flow up, man?
Damn.
What's up, man?
Where's Hush?
Salute. Man, I
going
wasn't
on,
going to cut off. Y'all having such a good conversation. I wasn't going to cut it off. I was like, man, whatever. It's time.
Man.
Keep an eye on the clocks. Keep an eye on the clocks. What up with y'all? Gia, we in the house.
brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Do we need introductions and stuff, man? I'm pretty sure everybody knows everybody, and if there's some new people come in, man, the chat will let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Trop, what's going on with the car, bro?
Car's done.
What? Really?
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, it was on the last live. On the last live, I told the end of that story. You know what I'm saying?
All right, done.
Where were you?
Probably, I don't know. I'm all over the place.
See, we all knew the story, but you.
I guess you need to get out of here and go watch the replay.
After this, Trop, just tell me the story after this. After all of this extra we don't need.
All right. The hell with it. I'll go ahead. It'll be about 45 minutes. Y'all hang in there with me. So what happened was,
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody in the
what's
chat's
up?
like,
So
oh
what's
man,
up?
here we go again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Tribe in this damn car.
No, it's all good. It's all good. At Mags, communities, Native. What'd you call it, bro?
The Bug Out
Mutual-
Village.
All
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
a mutual assistance network instead of a group. Like it's a network of people who are doing the same thing you're doing. That's what we're building right now, man.
Man.
We have been.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, I would like to say it.
You want to be a part of my band?
Yeah,
And ladies,
absolutely.
and ladies.
Hey,
This ain't land. This is
There's
man.
nothing else. It's just men and women. There ain't nobody else coming to my Bug Out Village identifying as anything other than a man and a woman.
Agreed. Agreed.
See, man, and I think with the they, them, you can say, man, I got to feed three people now. No, that ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, man, you're gonna have to dig your own latrine then, because if you ain't a man or a woman, I don't know how to accommodate you.
3 of them, just in case.
It'll be the same, it'll just be a hole in the ground. So
Yeah. Hey, am I wrong by saying that we're all in the mag right now? Am I wrong by saying that we're all in the mag right now, paying taxes that we probably don't want to pay? All that crazy stuff.
you mean like on a large scale, like our nation?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we're all part of a mag.
A bastardized.
When does the mutual assistance part? When does that part come in? The mutual assistance part come in.
Hey,
Feeling it, man.
hey, we all paying taxes. We're all putting in.
But I was
No,
we
we just pay taxes to pay the pensions of Ukraine, man. That's not for us.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And look, so we're all part of this. Literally, we're part of this mag. And where are we headed right now? Are we looking at a happy-go-lucky future with growth and opportunity and optimism?
No.
So I just want to throw that out there, guys. We're talking about mags.
Well, I think the optimism, I mean, for me at least, is, I know what I'm doing here. I went out and bought a few preps today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just that's my optimism, man. I mean, the government's damn sure not going to come and help. If we get an EMP, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but I mean, I sent it to some people. The retired, like one of the head Russian dudes over there, military, but he's retired now. He's sitting there talking about dropping. They're talking about dropping the nuke in Yellowstone, and then on the San Andreas Fault. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to talk about and this. I think this is why this conversation tonight that we're going to have is so important. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, a nuke and Yellowstone goes off, and with the nuke too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, you're talking about devastation for the boom. You know what I'm saying? For the whole middle of the United States. That's a bad deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? Angry pressure would be vindicated if the Yellowstone caldera. Y'all, come on now, y'all get that reference.
Yeah. Tribe.
What's up?
That
good to
tribe's
see you, brother.
quiet.
It's good to see you, brother.
So man, I'm just happy to see all y'all on the panel. I'm just sitting back enjoying the view, like the peoples.
You are
Peoples,
glowing, man. You are glowing right now. I just want you to know that.
for real.
Right?
What the hell?
Hey, mag or no mag?
That's that jab. That's that jab, native. I'm glowing. Come on, man.
Whoa. What the?
Oh man,
I haven't seen a lot of neon
YouTube.
lights.
I'm only kidding.
that thing shut down. We're all shadow banned immediately.
Yep,
I
I
swear.
do. Hey, Tribe, mag or no mag?
Mag.
Really?
Yeah.
Backwood.
Mag.
Mag? Bro, we talked about this today. All right.
We were just messing with you.
Everybody's
Oh,
flipping
you
now.
are.
Native.
I think you got to have a tribe. You got to have a group, but you also have to have that core folks that's gonna hold it down while this person's teaching, this person's cooking, this person's taking care of kids, this person's gardening, this person's building homes, this person. You got to have your soldiers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at the countries in every country and how they've set up. You pretty much got to do it. Even when shit hits the fan, you still got to have that group of people that's ready to go hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Native. Mag? No mag?
I mean, I guess not in the traditional sense of what we've always thought of as a mag.
Yeah.
You know, because there's mags out there. There's all kinds of good mags out there, I'm sure. I don't like just being beholden to people who haven't been vetted. Think of the vetting process of all of us over the past 2 years, the way we've got to know each other. But definitely a mutual assistance network of people. We're building our network right now, man. The people I can count on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers your question, yes or no, but
It
I'm
does.
just iffy on it, man. I'm just iffy on it.
Yeah.
Not the traditional, but a modified, functional.
Definitely need
Yeah.
a group. I mean, we need each other to survive. I see that 100%.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I agree
Okay,
with that.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, same. I don't think it's a traditional like mag, but I mean, we're going to have that community because we can't do it all. We talk about like how tribe was listing off the things that people have to do. We're going to have that.
Yeah.
You're going to have enough, but not, I guess, like the traditional mag. But I mean, we are building our community, our tribe of, like-minded, vetted people. Everyone's going to have to play their part. We're going to have that.
Gotcha. Papi.
Like Casey said before, it's going to be.
Man, come on, bro.
Listen, hold on. I'm not a huge mad person. It's kind of a combination, like what Tribe said and everything, but it's going to be in stages. So when it first happens, it's going to be hugely beneficial to have people that are going to be with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have the skills needed to keep you going through, like the first winter and to spring, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I still think that we have this thing stuck in our head that we're all going to be the Walking Dead communities and stuff like that. And I think it's just going to go to the Old West. I think it's going to go back with no power, and you're going to have gunslingers, and you're going to have people out there. You're going to have ones that don't want to contribute, marauders.
Uh-huh.
Then you're going to have people that are part of a community that are just like, hey, like Tribe said, you got these people that do this. This guy's selling, food or whatever. So I think I think immediately, yes. I'll say immediately, yes, and then it dies out.
Backwood.
I would like to touch on what POTV had said that, about it going back to kind of like the Old West type stuff. But we also have to remember that back in the Old West, you had your bigger ranches and stuff that had a lot of people working there, and they lived, within the property and stuff. And they, they all kind of pitched in on the ranch. So we've got to remember that, if we really think we're going to go back to that point in time, you're going to have to kind of look at it in that kind of way, because everybody, you know, obviously there was a big money thing with the main rancher and yada yada. But I'm saying, you know, the good successful ones, you know, had, you know, everybody was together. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that you got to live in, you know, with your houses right next to door to each other, but I'm talking, you know, within a certain radius, you know, of where we're kind of protected, you know. And I mean that's kind of my thought process on that.
Gotcha.
I will say this though about a mag. If it's like a group of people, let's say that you've been training together to survive or whatever for years, maybe a decade, but you all live in different houses in different cities, and your plan is just to meet up if something at someone's house. I don't want to be a part of that. I would rather be a part of a mag who, like we've talked about, like Tribe, like, you know, all of us have talked about going in together, buying a piece of land and building something there, and learning and having the farm and you know, animals there already there. The process is already there. We already have our places set up. That's what I would want to be a part of. That's what I would. That's the dream. You
Gotcha.
know? So if it's mag like that, like I don't want us to train with a group of people to meet at someone's house, because then we're going to be like Papa B says, we're all going to be marauders trying to find a good place and take it from somebody else.
Right.
But we're gonna need soldiers to hold that property down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I think we're all going to have to be soldiers. Even kids are going to have to grow up real quick. It's going to be sad.
You know, another thing, when you say it's going to go back to the Wild Wild West and stuff like that, you got to look at the country now than what it was 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 200 years ago, this country was a lot different than it is now. Now, you not only have different races, but you have different, I guess we could just call them tribes. You got, you know, Indians, Afghanistan, Somalians.
Crips.
This goes on and on and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot different than just a bunch of Europeans trying to fight with, you know, Native Americans and shit like that, and then trying to do whatever. Like, it's a whole bunch of different motherfuckers in America now.
But think about the timeline of that too. I mean, you're talking about the very, very beginning. If stuff just broke down, a massive amount of people are going to get killed off, or they're going to do something stupid and die on their own account. You know, I mean, there's the people that survive are either going to be, in my opinion, anyways, are either going to be skilled or they're going to be crooks. You know, they're going to be
absolutely
cons, basically, where they can weasel their way through life. But and then they'll grow up to be politicians, and we'll repeat the whole entire thing for America. But still,
facts. Press one,
basically.
right.
But I'm just saying, I think a lot of those people that are weak, you know, virtue signaling, whatever the hell, I think they'll die off, or they're going to change their mind real damn fast that, oh, maybe that doesn't matter, and I actually,
or they'll run to the government and say, "Take care of me," and they'll be in some work camp or something.
Yeah.
Don't you think there's going to be a bunch of warlords too? It's not just going to be the Wild West. There are going to be places where people in power were able to snatch as many government resources as possible. National Guard units that have all kinds of armories and weapons and under some colonel or something like that. And he's going to go rogue. Like there's going to be like a town that's kind of isolated by geography, and the mayor and the county commissioners that they're the richest people there, and they own most of the property in the factories and the buildings, and so they snatch power. Police chiefs, sheriffs, all over the country. It's gonna be like warlords.
Hey, let's put this in the context then. Seriously, let's pick a time. So in my mind, it doesn't have to be this one, but in my mind, the Bears said 3.5 years is how long they expect a conflict between us and them to last. 3.5 years. So let's just say.
Let's just say, August.
What's that?
Say it starts in August.
Yeah. Let's say a couple of those tactical things come over. Let's say EMP, infrastructure's down, no electricity. This is what we're talking with WRL shift, right? It's probably been 3 months without infrastructure here, and let's just say we'll call this WROL, but an exhausted WROL. People are tired. This is too much. We just want safety, security. We want to just have a moment of peace of mind. That's where we're at. Walking Dead. So
what season? Like 3, 4, like during the prison, after the prison.
Yeah, I guess. Pick one, Native, and let's go. Either one.
Fear the Walking Dead.
But
Yeah.
that's where we're at. Everybody's tired. Everybody's exhausted. Yes, the crazies have expended all their ammo shooting at streetlights and just all that crazy stuff. So ammo's like minimal. It's there, but you know what I'm saying? The crazies are done and people are trying to survive right now. And you know, that's like the at least in my mind, that's what I'm seeing. I got questions. I got questions.
Shoot,
Blacks.
shoot one.
Native, you're Mag. It's simple questions, bro. Me, my fiance, 2 kids, right? I've heard about these different mags. You have a mag that I'm kind of interested in. And first off, the initial contact. This is how crazy it's going to be. Do you have a process set up in place to meet new people coming to your mag? Do you meet them a kilometer away from the initial group? Do you let them come into the wait, what was that?
All right. So the first,
He's tried.
the
Go ahead,
first mag,
backwoods. Go ahead.
first mag,
I feel you.
Man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's,
You're gonna have to be so careful, man, and you really are gonna have to be in that paranoid state of mind.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You're not just gonna be friendly, lovey-dovey with everybody that comes along. Like,
Right.
it's gonna be for a person like me. I mean, it takes years for me to even gain 50% trust in a person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and that's kind of what you're gonna need. You're gonna need you probably need that in your, let's call it your man, MAN. You're gonna need that couple people that, hey, y'all are the ones that's gonna feel these people out. Y'all are the ones that's gonna vet these people out. Somebody's got a good judgment of people and can feel a person and have a few of them. You know what I mean? Because you can't run. Say a family comes and you got, say, 30 people. You can't send these people. Well, you got to go to everybody's little hut and everybody's got to say yes. Like, you're gonna have to have like a group of couple people that say yes, these people are cool, or no, these people are that. Right? I mean,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
absolutely.
well,
And also, I mean,
think-
if you gotta talk to them too, like really have a discussion with them, you gotta immediately get past like the initial, the weather and sports and all that shit, and you gotta really ask them real questions and see what they say, and then have someone else in the group later on, like plan an activity with the group, like away from everything, so they're not seeing what all you got, and
Yes.
the group
Yeah.
ask them the different questions and the same questions, and give them kind of a prompt that, okay, I look at it this way, and see if he answers differently before,
Right.
or are they going to be solid and tell the truth all the time?
Yeah.
I don't know. People who have already have families and stuff too, because if someone comes in, their family's coming too. That's just the
Right.
rules.
Yeah.
So meet the wife, see how their kids act around your kids, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know we all already do this every day when we meet new people.
Yeah.
There's like a subconscious thing we do with each other when we meet people.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that people will really be wanting to go and join other people like that? Do y'all think, if you got 30, 40, say 50 people, you got your little, do you think people are going to be brave enough to just stroll up on with all shit hitting the fan? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might
that's
not
it.
have too much of that.
no,
And
well,
if they do, then you really want to vet the hell out of them, because, man, y'all, 2 dudes come walking up like, hey, look, man, we hard up, man. You awful brave walking up here, dude.
Right.
You know
Desperate.
what I mean?
well,
Yes,
that's why I think that we need to look at how people react right now. I mean, look at how many people sheepled up when it come to the mandates, and look at how many people are sit back at home and asking for the government for handouts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we have a big level of that already going on in our society. So we're going to have to understand, unless shit hits the fan 20 years from now and we have time to work on the kids and get a different generation. You know what I'm saying? The generation of people right now are used to handouts. They're used to comfort.
There's
They're used
millions. There's
Exactly.
millions. But
And-
you can say fuck the 2020 and all that. Before 2020, there was millions of people relying on the government
Right.
for a helping hand or complete life.
Yeah.
Their complete life is sustained by government. You know what I mean?
Well, and we have to realize that there's going to be these kind of people when shit, happens, and you're going to have, if you really want to know just exactly how much, to make your decision on what you should do when it comes to a mag, go to any news agency on an app, Newsmax, whatever, don't matter. Go to one and just any kind of article that has to do with politics, with just about anything, and then don't read the article. Go straight to the comments, and every single freaking one of them, man, people are so divided, and you can tell how sneaky people are with the words that they use. And you're going to have to, if you're going to be a mag that is going to be welcoming people in, have that thought process, I believe you better learn how to read people, and you better set up a set of rules and regulations now and practice on this, because, man, you could get people in there that are all like for supporting Ukraine over there, and sending money, that, and they don't even work, these people have this thought process of, what's ours, man, we can give away. And then you let one of these people in, and you're not really, dude's working, doing great, everything's fine, goes out on a little scout mission, whatever, meets somebody and's like, yeah, let me talk to my people. We got stuff, and man, we just want to help everybody out. That kind of thing. So you got to be wise to these things.
A lot of that stuff comes from people being, complacent, being all the comfort that's in the world. People start making up reasons to talk and argue and do all this stuff, because what else is there to do? You play video games and people are assholes to each other. Sorry, they're buttheads to each other on there and stuff. Everyone sits there and has to argue about everything because there's nothing else to worry about. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about. So when all that stuff's there, when all that stuff goes away, I think their attitude will change on a lot of them. I think they'll get slapped, in the face with reality. And I don't know. I don't know if they'll be useful, because if they've wasted their whole life doing nothing but taking and not learning and, being able to contribute. But I think their attitude will change when they realize that, the big daddy government they want to help them isn't going to come.
Yeah. KC, I got a question for you.
Okay.
No, seriously. So these mags, look, I was going to beat around the bush and like paint the picture of the mag and everything. We'll just go straight into the questions.
Yeah.
KC, a mag, it can be like a democracy, capitalistic. It could be how do you say it? Autocracy. Yeah, that one. Thank you. I appreciate you. Dictatorship, or it could be a cult. But let's just say it's a capitalistic. They've got tons of land. They've given you a plot of land. The rules say that so much of what you produce on your land goes to the group.
Right.
So I know how you roll. Let's just say you busted 3 times harder than anybody. Now you have an access. You got more than everybody. And they come to you and say, KC, you got so much. We need more of what you have. What do you do in a situation like that?
Well, they're gonna have to barter up, step up, or something. I mean, if it's something it's gonna take away from me and my immediate.
Yeah, but if you've been working your fingers off to make sure that you have enough to give them and extra for your family, and then they come and say, "Wait a minute, you got a lot, so we need to you need to donate a little bit more to the entire group."
Yeah.
Right.
These are the issues.
Right. That you're afraid of running into.
Yeah. So what do you do? It's people.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say
you have to have like a command structure already in place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's already going to be.
Especially if you're gonna have like 50 to 100 people, like you're gonna. If you you're gonna build in your own chaos, especially when something bad happens, because everyone's gonna try to be in charge.
Yeah.
And if people know that, like, well, they got excess, they work so hard, they got more, they need to give more than their percent.
Yeah.
Well, then there's going to be those people that have that mindset, but like, well, I don't really have to do much because I know I'm going to get it from them.
Yes. So when they come and take your stuff, because it's probably part of the rules, when they come and take it, are you gonna say, well, wait a minute, this is I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say no, you can't have it? Are you gonna say go ahead and take it? Or are you gonna say,
I don't know
well,
if that's
forget it,
quite
I'll
right.
just
I
do
mean,
my
it depends on what
average?
it is. Depends on if I can, there's, and we talk about bartering things all the time, or is it something I can put away and help mine in case, say I get hurt and down. I'm like, no, I need a cushion of security just in case. What if I get hurt and I'm down and then I get behind on stuff?
Yeah,
I mean,
but if you know what your weekly
but I think you
allotment
kind of
is,
go into, if you're going to join, if you join this community, this mag of that, I think you kind of go in, like Native said, there's kind of those rules and things of like what's expected. What if this happens?
Okay.
I mean, you better be asking those type of questions ahead of time.
yes.
I'm not
So
going in
rules,
blindly.
backwoods, native rules. Just throw out some basic rules of a mag. I know it's kind of on the spot, but just some basic rules. You know what I'm saying? If somebody came up and they were like, "Hey, what is this mag about?" I've heard this and this and this, but what is it about? And then
everybody works or you don't eat. That's rule number one. Everybody pitches in. If you
Yeah,
have
everyone's
an
gonna have
all right.
we'll-
Hold on,
we'll
hold on,
figure
hold
it
on.
out. You can knit socks and patch holes in socks or something if you can't walk.
What does the work mean? See,
You got to
that's
contribute in some. Well, you have to have something to contribute. Like if it's not laboring work, it could be. I mean, like tribers listen, all
Chopping
these
wood.
things, all
Yeah.
these
Feeding
different
animals.
things are
Yeah.
contributing to. You're pulling your part. You're not just
Yeah.
sitting that.
see, that's
sitting
what I'm
back
saying
waiting
though.
for somebody else
Yeah,
to do it.
Washing pots, doing something.
yeah, but this is where I'm trying to tap in at. Like we all say with mags, oh yeah, just do some work, right? Let's say okay, so you're coming to this mag. A man will be required to work 40 hours a week, whether it's chopping down wood, whether it's in the field, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we all say, yeah, you're gonna work, you're gonna do your part, but there will be actual rules to these mags. I know we don't know them now.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to get to. Your
Everyone
wife,
in the group will have duties. Like it'll be assigned to you. Like it'll be something that you can talk about with the group.
but almost non-negotiable if you want to be a part of this mag.
Yeah, you can't just show up and do nothing and get the
Right.
mutual assistance.
You also
Yeah.
can't.
Well, I think if you're trying to get in, go ahead. Poppy, I'm
Well,
sorry.
No, you're fine.
well, like one of the things you got to establish is there's a rule and a rule committee. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like a oversight committee.
Yes.
Because first off, man, honestly, not everybody is going to want to deal with every one of the problems. Happen to be in there working it out. Like, maybe somebody's relaxing and stuff for the day. They've done their work. They've done what's needed to be done, and they're just relaxing. And then here we are coming over, beating on Tribe's door, talking about, "Hey, Tribe, man, get up off the couch, man.
Yeah.
We got to figure out, do we want to put a front gate on over here or not?
Right.
Man, Tribe ain't trying to hear that shit. Tribe gonna look at us and be like, "Damn, homie, put a
Right.
fucking gate on it. Makes sense." Well, I mean, damn. You see what I'm getting at? There's gonna have to be some type of
There's no
structure.
handout.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the ground rules, there's got to be ground rules. There's got to be a select committee of people, but at the same time, that you got to make sure that people understand this is not like government handout. Okay.
Right.
I'm not, just because I'm on the select committee doesn't mean that you get special fucking favors from me.
Right.
It has to be equal all the way around. There is no Republican and Democrat in here. You know what I'm saying? We are people trying to survive. You have to kind of erase all them negative dividing factors. You know what I'm saying? If
Gotcha.
you want to worship God in your house, that's fine. We don't, as long as you're not doing dangerous stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
do we allow that?
able-bodied person learns to fight.
Yes.
Okay, now we're talking. I wish I had my pen and paper so I could start writing these things down. Having a group of people, I'm sorry, Poppy, a group of people who come out initially and meet you instead of like you being bombarded by 50 people armed saying, "Are you going to be a part of this mag? Who are you? Where you're from?" So just having that form of organization tells me that, okay, we're working with something here. You know what I'm saying? Versus a bunch of wild guys running around with guns saying, "You want to be a part of this mag? Come on." You know what I mean? What you got, Poppy?
I was gonna say you can't only offer security as a skill. That's like the most worthless person you'd probably have. If all they can do is shoot a gun and stand post, I wouldn't even. they'd have to come in and like grind and work at a skill and earn their place or something. But if they come up there and they're like, "Oh, well, I can stand post. I can be another gun." Like, no, get the hell out. It's
My 14-year-old daughter can do that.
Well, for one, who knows if that person that just happens to have a gun that was probably laying around can come up there and say, "Hey, I could be an extra gun," and then something happens and they just freaking jet, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
If they're worthless, and all of a sudden everybody's, I mean, it would just domino effect in your entire community.
Hey,
So
check this out.
got
Your
off.
mag goes to war.
Sorry,
Your mag goes to war with another mag, right? You have a young buck, a native, and he's looking to expand. And this other mag is they're a little bit weaker. They're less organized. It would benefit us so much if we had, that's how it's going to go down. Warlords. If so, you take over this other mag. Now you have people who don't want to be a part of your mag. Do you take prisoners? And Casey, are you okay with taking prisoners?
Just because somebody, this isn't a cold. You mean like somebody wants to leave? I mean, like I'm not getting into something involved in something. I'm like, hey, this didn't work out for me. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
One mag goes to war with another mag. This is shift. There's no electricity, no power, no water. There's no
just
food.
because somebody wants to leave, you want to take prisoners? What is that?
Let's say your mag decides to take not prisoners, but they're going to put them someplace until they can kind of get over the fact that they lost. Does that work?
You're saying you're kind of letting them vent and letting them decompress from everything that happened because
in a special place.
You probably just killed their family members or their friends trying to take over the place, and then you're going to be like, if I give them a day or two, they'll like me with my personality. That'd be a dangerous game, man.
It's gonna happen.
It's two things here with the same answer, though. See, from either side of it, if that mag attacks you, if all of them are in agreement and attack you, I'm not leaving nobody. If we end up overcoming, nobody gets to live, man. I mean, it has to be that way because you did just kill their loved ones and their, you know. Man, tell me they're going to really forgive that. You know what I'm saying? No, they ain't going to forgive that, man. I ain't going to trust them inside the mag with my family and your family and all of us. And then the second thing is if we're going to attack them, then why would we leave anyone alive anyway? You see what I'm saying?
Why are we doing that? Why are our mags trying to kill each other anyway? What's going on? Why aren't we trying to grow the network?
Yes.
Or are they just a group of marauders?
Well, that's
that's what I'm confused on.
All right, okay, so look, just like gangs, seriously, just like gangs right now, right? The hoods, the neighborhoods, they all have, blocks separated, that type of thing. What I'm seeing is like mags, and I guess I'm talking more inner city, probably neighborhood size mags. There's gonna come a point as to where like they're gonna grow to a point where they're gonna have to expand. Like, there is no other way. We've got too many people. We're gonna have to expand. It's like part of life. It just happens. Countries go to war with other countries for the exact same thing. We're seeing it happen now. So with these mags, at some point, the weaker mags will be attacked by stronger mags. And if I'm in a mag that's stronger and they're going to attack a weaker mag, I know we're just throwing stuff in the air. Am I going to be okay with them taking prisoners? Am I going to be okay with what goes on?
Man. Can't take on prisoners. Then you got to take care of them for how long? How long are they going to be prisoners? Because then you're in the boat that Pop B just brought up. They're never going to be on our side. We can never trust them around our children.
They play that part.
So what happens?
They're going to have that vengeance in them if that's the case.
So what happens after that? These are my questions. If I'm gonna join a mag,
well, you're gonna have to get rid of them. I mean, somehow or another, they can't know where you are. They can't know where your children sleep. I mean.
Right.
I would say if you're going to take
that's the original question. Why are we fighting them? Like what happened?
Just growth.
But
if they attack us, then they all got to die. I don't care if they have kids or not. You shouldn't attack them.
Just don't attack them. Take them over, diplomatically.
There'll be that too.
Appease to the people, and then show them you do them more.
America's dead, y'all. There's no more diplomats. We're building our own. I'm annexing as much property as possible as soon as America falls. Native Americans are finally going to get their land back. Come on, y'all. Come on. Everybody got quiet.
for at least a little bit, anyways, right?
It's scared to say anything negative. We can say that, right? They're like, oh, sure, we supposed to laugh at that?
No, listen, all Americans should annex, man. We're all Americans. We really are. Y'all should get anything y'all want and never have to pay taxes on it ever again.
Hey, the only thing
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mic check,
Yeah.
mic check. All right, let me cut in real quick. I've been trying for like the past like 2.5 minutes, so
Oh shit.
I'm gonna try to cut in here. But I want to ask y'all this. We sitting here, we're talking about mags, we're talking about building communities, we're talking about mags attacking mags. With the shit that's going on in the world right now and the shit that we got to worry about with this war and shit like this, what never gets talked about is there's still going to be these government people. There's still going to be this military under their control. There's going to be other countries who want this country because no matter what, this country is an awesome ass place to have. That's why everybody wish they had it, and it's like the freest place. We're gonna have to worry about those things too. You know what I'm saying? Like it. We think it's just gonna be zombie land and shit like that. But I mean, think about this. What if our government is defeated with all the shit that breaks down, and then all of a sudden you got either China or Russia over this motherfucker, and they're putting people in. I mean, think about World War II or World War I.
Yeah.
You know, when the people got rounded up and put in camps and all this and all that. I mean, we're gonna have to worry about that shit too, man. It's might be a lot worse than just having to worry about another group of people trying to eat.
That's what I think.
Sure enough.
Bro, the mag deal is just one aspect of what we're about to go through.
But that's why I say a mag is so. We can be all the garden growers, all the kid teachers, all the loving the tree motherfuckers we want. But when it comes down to it, when shit hits the fan, you're gonna have to be one ruthless, savage son of a bitch. And if you ain't, you better have some ruthless, savage son of a bitches with you. And that's just how it is, man.
Yep.
Do a combination of what you and Native said, or everybody said, or you have your mags and you have your groups, but you connect and you grow your network of other like-minded communities where it's separate empowers and stuff like that, and they control themselves and all their things, but you still have people that can support.
Well, let me ask you this, Pop B. Let me ask you this.
Tap in.
When you were over there doing your thing, and I'm not going to tap too hard into it because I ain't trying to get all up in your business, but wasn't some of the most the people that had to have your back and you had their back, wasn't some of those people some of the hardest minded people that you've ever known in your life, and that some of us would like meet and be like, oh man, I don't know if we want them around, but they're the best fucking people to have around, to have your ass and be protectors and be soldiers on the line. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, the people that we would have to connect with, some of them are not gonna be the nicest motherfuckers in the world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of my friends coming up for me to be able to hang with the people I hung with, I wanted some nasty motherfuckers around me. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, when shit hits the fan, holy shit, you definitely gonna want some nasty, you know what I mean?
Bro, that's why we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Like the prisoners. It's gonna be that, man. There ain't gonna be no 911, no police. The National Guard can only do so much.
You're gonna hope to have a Debo on your side.
A Negan. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, but there are some you don't want to have on your side too. There's some people that'll do some god awful shit.
So we got and Tribe had tapped in on the military aspect of this, and so with the couple of military, some people on here and stuff. Let me ask y'all, like, straight up, do bad guys use kids?
They use
Absolutely.
anything.
Yeah, absolutely. In a heartbeat.
Kids
kidnap kids just to put bombs on them.
Hey, let's not forget the fact that there are some young human beings that are ruthless savages themselves.
Yeah.
There's some 15, 16-year-olds out here that you do not want to fuck with. You know, I mean, just they have a mind of they're not scared of death. They don't think they can die, and there's nothing nobody can tell them, and they don't give a shit. And that's now. You know what I mean? Imagine this shit hit the fan and you got a bunch of, you know what I mean, youngins running around with guns and Glocks and no rules.
Yeah.
I want to tap into what Tribe was saying earlier about like if America collapses and all the other countries want a piece of the pie, and think of like the cartels that have already infiltrated all of America. They're going to start grabbing stuff and setting up, their thing.
Yep.
But I will say this: America, if it collapses, will become a black hole for any country. No country will ever be able to take over all of America again. There's just too many guns here. There's too many former military. They'll send armies here relentlessly to die, all from all over the world. They really will. They might grab pieces of the coast and set up ports or whatever. It won't matter. They'll never take over the whole United States. That's just my belief.
Not even if it's nuked. I mean, if we, you know what I mean?
But then why would you want it if you nuke the ground? I mean, it's no good to you either. And then we're going to shoot all of our nukes off too, and just the whole world will be.
Yeah.
Like nuclear war is going to be total, man. I don't know.
My only thing, bro, is that we're spoiled here. Seriously. And I'm with you, Native. I've always said no external force is going to come in here and take us out. It's not going to happen. But
it'll be brutal, man.
But we can lay the groundwork for them with WRL and Shift. We're spoiled, bro. So many of these other countries, they've been farming. Go ahead.
Let's be honest though. Let's be honest. Let's think about it a little bit. We say that nobody can come in here and take over. But look what leaders of our own are doing to us and don't nobody do shit about. Mm-hmm. Look at the mandates, the laws that they pass, the way they attack the First Amendment, Second Amendment. Look at what these people do to us that are our own, and we don't do shit about it. What?
Yeah.
How many people are going to stand up when there's 5,000 armed China or Russian or Turkey or Syrian and I mean, seriously, man, it's real easy to say, oh, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying, I'm speaking for myself. It's real easy for me to say right now, ain't nobody going to say shit to me, man. I'll fuck them up. But let 200 fucking armed soldiers surround my house. What the hell am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? With me and my wife.
Hopefully, when get to that, hopefully you'd hear him coming or something. Because no one's going to stand up to like a standing army. It's going to be guerrilla warfare. With soldiers for a generation in the last 20 years who have fought a guerrilla warfare in Afghanistan and in Iraq and have learned their tactics. I mean, I don't think we're going to have to stand up to an army. They might take, like I said, and China's already here. They're their police forces. They're little private. They own 300,000 acres of land near our military bases.
They got balloons flying for crap.
There you go. Yeah,
bro, they can launch 3,000 of them with random payloads.
It's probably right here. Hutch.
All right, that's the end of the live. Bye, guys.
That's it. We'll see y'all later.
All right, y'all. That's it for tonight. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Hey, I got a question for Hutch.
What you got,
bro? All right. So I know you've talked about setting up mags, that type of thing, right? How do you lay down the law? Look. This is the question, and it's random. I didn't build up to it, but this is the question. On your mag, the husband is out chopping wood with the guys, doing what he's supposed to be doing, and his old lady something happens to her that shouldn't happen. What do? How do you handle it? I know it's a lot, bro. I know. I'm just saying.
Like I just showed up, man.
I'm out.
All right, never mind. Backwoods. How do you handle it, Backwoods?
Hutch just got dead.
Hutch got it. Hutch got it.
What do you mean by something happened to her? Like, give me
something no good. The things that happened, like World War II.
Assaulted. Sexually assaulted by someone in the group,
something no good.
Not necessarily like a full on, but kind of up in the face. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Yeah, you came back from chopping wood. She's got a bruise. She tells you what happened, and it's.
Well, or somebody
Gotta
just
live.
smacked her
Is it a
around.
member of the mag,
All right.
or is it? Well,
Wait, are they
if
married?
it's a member of the mag, am I 5x5? Let's go with that first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, you good.
If it's a member of the group that you're in, and I don't care if you slap my old lady on the ass, you're getting buried, plain and simple.
Okay.
If it's a stranger and I have to hunt him down, then we're rounding up a posse, and you're still getting buried.
Yeah, no, it's in the mag. You know this guy. You know whoever it was. You know the plot of land. You know where he is, and
Okay, back up. Maybe you guys were decompressing because you did a whole bunch of crap and he was just drunk, right? Because you guys got some homemade moonshine and he did something stupid like that.
Hey.
Are you still going to schwack the dude for being inebriated?
Well, if you
Yes.
thought it was his wife.
Wow.
He should have controlled his shit. He shouldn't have been in that position in the first place to be alone to have the opportunity to do that in the first place. So there he was wrong in the first place.
gotcha.
Second is, why do I have you in the mag if you don't know how to control your fucking alcohol? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, like you're messing up on all fronts. You shouldn't have been drunk. You shouldn't have been with the old lady. You know what I mean? Like all these things. Yeah. Ignorance and inebriation is not an excuse to bypass an ass whooping.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying don't beat his ass. I meant, are you going to kill the man?
Yeah. Like
it depends on how drastic it is, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a mag, how do you go about that? Look, if I'm just an innocent bystander that's doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm watching all this unfold, like, you know,
I think you have some people that are the ones that seem the most level-headed, the ones that hold it down, probably the ones that do the vetting and shit. I think you got to go. You got to. Because Hutch is just going to kill him, and maybe that's not the greatest thing for everybody, and maybe he hasn't even heard the whole story. Maybe it was an accident. We don't know yet. Like, you know, right off the bat, Hutch is going to be on this dude. So we got to have something in place to be like, hey man.
That's what's good about a mag though, is that if it is a misunderstanding, obviously I would have to find out the nuance of what happened first. You know, like I want the details.
What's the
but if it's one of those things to where, like, if I'm blinded by rage, then I expect one or two of y'all to stand in front of me so I can't get to the man. You know what I mean? That's where the mag comes in as peacekeepers. You know what I mean? But if y'all step out of the way, I'm whooping that ass. You know what I mean? And then, like, how far it goes from there is depending on how serious the assault was. You know what I mean?
I won't be in that because I'm gonna be hit him again.
Right.
Hit that motherfucker again, Hutch.
Right.
well, let me ask y'all, what's the process then in this
Yeah.
situation, in this weird situation that Backwoods and Josh created? What is the process in y'all's minds in a mag? Like, what should be done? All the members form a council and it's all open and everyone's there and you question the dude and let him ask for anyone to vouch for him and say, okay, this is what really happened. Like, what is the process then? Because if the man's life's on the line, if we believe in the Bill of Rights and America and all that, right, we have to give him some kind of due process before we just blow his brains out. Like, I understand Hutch. Like, it's up to his boys to stand away before he chokes the man out, just so we can figure it out. But afterwards, if the man's just guilty, all right, Hutch, get it, man. Like,
well, see, like I'm a big fan of vigilante justice, and I am a giant war hawk. So that's just, you know what I mean. That's where the mag would come in handy. Is that the group is not only there to protect him; it's there to protect me from doing something stupid as the outcome. You know, what I mean? Like, there should be some kind of trial system or something like that. But it's one of those things where if it is a sexual assault or something like that, then it's gonna be hard for whoever the spouse of whoever got assaulted to be like, let me go tell this constable that this happened and this happened and this happened, especially if it's in a shift situation.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't have time to go speak to a counsel. This happened, I gotta fix it. You know what I mean?
I want to throw a caveat in there. And Hutch, because it's on you, it's just a caveat, brother. It's just a caveat.
Right.
Let's say this dude did shit, you know, to the old lady, and he was wrong in the wrongest way ever. And let's just say me, Native, and Pot B are like the motherfuckers who make the call. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, Hutch, you have every right in the world to do whatever you want. But then Hutch goes to do it, and this dude ends up getting the better hand on Hutch. Does the mag step in and help Hutch and get it over with, or does dude
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. If it's a beatdown that is supposed to occur,
We've already made a decision.
yeah, it's he's getting beat down.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
That's hard.
if Hutch can't do it, I can guarantee you 3 or 4 of us can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
what? Okay, one last thing. What if this dude? You got 30, 40 people in the mag. What if this dude has a good 5 to 10 people who really care about him and really got his back no matter what? And then all of a sudden,
if they stood up for him after being found guilty by the community of doing something like that, then fuck them people too.
Yep.
Then I think it's wartime. I don't think it's an ass
No,
whooping.
yeah, that's gonna be
I
some
think
division in the mag altogether.
Yeah, it's time
Leadership.
to take care of business.
Leadership, bro. Look, so look, the Green Party, I want to see organization. When there's time for discipline to be implemented, I want to see a committee of people. I want to see organization before I join the mag. If you got a bunch of people that's just, I can't do it. Hey, KC, let me ask you seriously. Just as a mom, what are some things that like you wouldn't go for in the mag? Just ballpark it. Just things that you know that would set you off and be like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Anything
that represents any cultish type of control, I'm not doing. You have to have some leadership, like you said. You have to kind of have that board, that leadership, because everyone has their strengths, and some people are just that natural. They'll be level-headed and can detach themselves, like what we were just talking about. They could detach themselves and be rational about the situation.
Yeah.
But certain,
what's cultish?
Come on. You know what a cult is. I mean, I can't that over the top, control
Everybody's
and dictatorship. I'm not going to go for something like that.
Everybody's in cahoots. Like everybody's on the same page with the leader. No matter what he says, it's a go. We're with you. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I'm not going to go for that. I mean, because you understand in your community, your tribe, your mag, whatever, you're not all going to be best friends and get along and agree on everything.
Uh-huh.
But if you have, an understanding and respect for each other. But I mean, like if a situation like this, get Hutch, yes.
But why couldn't you be?
Why couldn't you be what?
Like, if you're choosing your mag, why wouldn't you choose people that are only your friends and stuff like that? Like if I was to choose a mag, it would pretty much be everybody that was on this panel right here.
No, I don't mean you would be friends, but you like you may have disagreements, and that's fine. But you're not going to be like it's my way or no way.
Well, that's why it comes to like when people are setting up mags, it seems like a lot of the talk that I've been seeing from some of these fake ass prepper channels is, oh, just a whole bunch of strangers just get together and do some shit.
There's a vetting process for that.
Yeah, like it's got to be more. Like, why would you want to live in a community in the first place with strangers and people that you don't trust to begin with? Like, why would you even like? Me personally, I would rather take my chances as a lone wolf and just keep running around and live with them.
I would not just blindly walk in with like, well, I just need a group because there's only a couple of us and this is a big group and they kind of have, their stuff together. I wouldn't just be like, this looks good from the outside. I'm just going to walk into this. I think that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't trust that.
So basically, you need to be on the council and you need to be one of the leaders because you don't want to. I'm saying, but you don't want to be told. You know what I mean? What to do?
Well, I mean, it's not about I don't want to be told. I think there's there are rules and there's kind of these regulations. I don't have a problem with that. But if you have this cult type thing where somebody's dictating to you, it's my way or no way, or like how I think Josh brought up earlier.
That's what's going to happen.
You can't leave.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not working out for me and my group that came in or my family, we came into this thing, then you have the right to say this thing will work for me.
But that goes on the trust thing too. We've talked about it before. We're like, hey, what about this person that you've brought in wants to leave your encampment? They know everything about you. They know where your security is. Now they have too much information about where you're at. And if you guys are already sour enough to where you want to split off, I mean, there is a point where it's like, man, we've only been in this for like 3 months. I don't trust this family or this guy or this girl, whatever. And
too late.
Don't want to let them go. That's a well, you know what? It goes back to that cautious and paranoid. That's what it goes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
Would it
there is, we
depend on
talk all the time, there's that
proximity?
discernment about things. I
Listen,
mean, if you have a
proximity
bad
has a
feeling
lot
these
to do
people are
with it.
leaving,
Say you got 10 people on 5 acres. Obviously, you're going to have a completely different legal kind of setup than if you had 10 people on 200 acres. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
And I think the larger your
proximity
community mag is,
with-
the more likely there's going to be issues.
Yes, it's gonna
I
happen.
mean,
now.
I'm not looking to join, but like, well, there's 200 of us in here and this one, and I don't know. I
Right. No. Y'all ain't big enough. You can't provide defense or security. You only have 10. You
and
only
that's
have
just what
20.
I'm comfortable with. I'm not comfortable. Yes.
Do it, Native.
You didn't have to stop. I was gonna stay here, man. I just
I'm
wanna-
next.
You pulling out that Native American shit. Wow.
Hey,
God dang.
Hey, just sidebar. You know where that comes from? When they first met Native Americans, they would wave and say, "How are you doing?" And so Native Americans like, that's a weird way to say hello. Maybe we should start doing it. So they would say, "How?"
Really?
That's where that comes from.
No,
They thought white people were silly and they were trying to fit in. So they were copying white people.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to go back, like what you guys are just this same situation. Let's say the same situation is it's in the middle of our council meeting where we're judging this guy, and then all of a sudden a large, let's say like hundreds of government agents show up or soldiers or whatever. And the right, we got scouts or someone watching. They're like a mile away. They're headed our way. What are we going to do then? Because then doesn't that kind of change it? Even though this guy did something that
it's them against us type of. There's that different type of.
Right. There's going to be conflict going on all the time for a while if America collapses.
Yes.
Yeah, I think,
rival.
Like Pop B said, there's going to be those different stages when things first come, and then things will settle into. This is the, lifestyle now. This is, and I think once that happens, there's not going to be, I think early on, there's going to be this tension and this fighting and this trust and, well, I need to take over or get their things or supplies. And I think that's going to be more early on, but I think further down into it, people are going to be settled into, I don't think there's going to be, when it's further down, I don't think people are going to just be
Casey.
These mags fighting each other all the time.
Casey.
Yes.
Hey, look.
Hit it, Tribe.
Oh, he's playing. Nah, he's playing. You're muted, bro.
Your deal.
Oh, he's not talking to us.
You're muted. It shows you're muted, Tribe. Is all.
Hey,
it
I
shows.
was watching UKR.
Poppy, I wanted to ask you this because I know you've been in this situation too. When you're in that type of situation where your life's on the line and you're out there with your unit and their lives are on the line, you get a hyper awareness. And so when someone new comes into the group, you're picking up on little micro emotions and facial expressions and movements in them that you can tell what's going on kind of with them. And you kind of suss them out that way, just being around someone new because you're already in this stressful environment. And so since you're already surviving, you and your group, when this new person comes in, everyone in the group immediately is checking them out. Okay, are they going to get me killed? Do they know what they're doing? You're looking for those signs of fear, of nervousness, just tiny tremors and all kinds of little things. I mean, don't you think we'll all be picking up on that too? Once we survive such a certain amount, especially when we're with our families, man. I ain't gonna be able to sleep for weeks. It's down, and I am solely responsible for moving.
And that's why you can't lone wolf things. You can't stay up all the time. You cannot do it. You'll be exhausted. I just don't think that's why that works.
Yeah. But you wouldn't have to always stay up all the time as long as you can provide yourself some concealment when you sleep.
Well, but eventually you'll get worn down of doing everything. Or if you got hurt, you lone wolf and you get hurt, what happens then?
I can't imagine the
eventually you die.
Well,
is my mic working?
Yeah. Tribe. Right. Did you miss the super chat?
Oh shit. Yep. Appreciate you,
Sherry.
Salute.
Sherry.
What? It was Sherry.
Yep.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm sorry I missed that. I got my mic messing up. I got all
Yeah.
kinds of crap going on. My
So,
bad. Appreciate
y'all
you.
go
Beck.
ahead.
Well, you gotta knock the
Yeah,
dust
go ahead.
off of
Go
it.
ahead.
But I did want to say a lot of what you'll have to deal with, because you got to think, if this really happens, which I think it really could. I mean, the way shit's going, man, is crazy. But the mental health, the people being able, even your own people, I'm not just talking about people we don't know and we'll have to deal with them. Like, everybody's going to be messed up in the head, man. Everybody. People are used to AC. People are used to refrigerate. Even if you're a prepper still has a refrigerator right now. A prepper still has blankets and a TV and a, Nintendo or a fishing rod, go fishing on the beach, relax, drink a beer. Like, all that's gone. Everything you've ever known in life. And it's going to be hard on everybody. And some people are not, no matter how hard they think they are, and they think, oh, I can handle any damn thing. It's going to be hard, man.
Yeah.
And you're going to have some real strong-minded people to help deal with those situations of people you care about and people that are going to be in your mag and stuff, to be able to deal with that mental health of it. You know what I mean? That ain't easy. That's going to be just as rough as going to war with another mag, man. I mean, people can lose their damn minds and try to murder everybody. People do that every single day in this world. You know what I mean?
Don't forget about all them folks out there that are hooked on drugs and shit too. Coke heads and crack heads, and they ain't gonna be able to just hit that dealer up down the street. That stuff gonna.
Or the doctors in the pharmacy. I mean, there's a lot of people on regular shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Organization, bro. Hey, if I join a mag, seriously, the leader is gonna have to be on point. Take no prisoners, no BS. The leader, in going for the kill, and then it's gonna have everything else is gonna have to be organized, from the greeting party to the medical team to the it's gonna have to be organized. And I know I'm asking for a lot, but that's the only way I'm gonna give up, my head of the household.
Yeah, I agree.
To another guy. Yeah.
No doubt. I want to ask you, Josh. I want to ask you, man.
Uh-oh.
You're the one. I just want to let everybody know too. This was your brainchild tonight. This was your brainchild, man. You wanted to tap in on all this, man. Where did you get the inspiration to want to do something like this and talk this deeply about it? I know, but do you see shit coming, man?
Yes.
Just be honest, man.
No, absolutely. Look, when the Bears said a 3.5-year war, listen, how it plays out in my head is that we had the initial shock and awe of tactical things going off, destroying our infrastructure. EMPs. That's what we're WROL. That will put us in it. And then seriously, I firmly believe that we're gonna have a year with no communication from government. I watched videos today talking about how, like, underground, they have literal cities. People talking about the water levels in Colorado. Where's the water going? They have cities prepared to just,
Have y'all seen Venice? Have you seen pictures of Venice? You know how Venice has the streets and they take the boats through the it's mud.
Wow.
Some places it's mud. They're having like record no water. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Bro, it makes sense. If they're shooting things here and there, they're continuity government's going underground. And they'll do everything from satellites and comms and stuff, and they'll shoot this and shoot that and send this and send that. But guess what? We're gonna be here seriously dealing with mags and trying to eat and trying to survive. No electricity, no water for an extended period of time. The National Guard is not gonna come and help us.
And help me out on this. Help me out on this real quick.
Yeah.
Let's just name a few things that have happened in the past year. I'm gonna name a couple, and then if y'all can think of one, throw it in there, and think of how many things have happened in the past couple years. We've had cyber attacks. How many damn times? We've had how many food places get burnt down to the ground? You got Buttigieg saying there's 1,000 train derailments a year, but now we got train derailments with chemicals ruining lands, and they're trying to cover it up and not tell the people, and the president won't do anything about it, and he just ignores the fact, and they're trying to stay silent about it. Yeah. You got a American fighter jet shooting down foreign things in the air. that they say they can't figure out, and then when they do figure it out, oh, it was surveillance from another country who is our enemy, supposedly. Not to mention, out of the blue, a pandemic hit.
Yeah.
From
coming.
where? I mean,
bro, they had stuff falling from the sky that we don't even know what it was just the other day.
Yeah.
They still don't know what it is. There's no boogeyman. Nobody's telling us what this stuff is.
But I want to tap into something even a little scarier too, man. If it's like a grid down and like, you know, and it falls in what you're talking about, Tribe. If it's like a grid down, it's like shit hits the fan, we're getting attacked, all this stuff. You got to understand there's a whole lot of plants out there that have, like, let's say, nuclear plants. We have chemical plants and we have gas wells and all this kind of stuff out there that has to be maintained. They have to be maintained at a certain temperatures, at certain, you know, and if there's nobody there, you know, that's maintaining this shit, you're gonna all of a sudden, boom, you got a natural disaster, right? You know, or you know, a disaster right there, close to your mag, you know. And this is something everybody, you know, I talked about it the other day on a video about, you know, find out what kind of plants and stuff, you know, like chemical wise, you know, nuclear stations and stuff like that. Find out what you have around you, man, because that's the not happened yet is the really scary stuff, you know, if it don't get maintained properly.
Yeah. I think we're at war right now internally. Seriously, with everything that's going on, Native, with everything that's going on, Pop B, with everything that's going on right now, bro, the derailments. Look, what was the one that happened the other day? And I think that one was supposed to be a DIRTY, whatchamacallit, but it didn't go off big enough. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm talking about
petrol stuff.
What's up, Bobby?
Talking about in Mexico?
No, it was one of the plants that contained the
in Tennessee. You talking about in Tennessee?
Yeah,
in Oak Ridge.
I think that was supposed to be a DIRTY, but it didn't go off big enough. Seriously, it contained the used stuff. I think we're at war right now. So I'm asking you guys about mags because when I have to find one, when I have to pick a mag, I want to make sure that like I'm making a good decision for me and my family. Is it organized?
Do you feel that it would make sense to follow a single leader mag, or do you think that it should be more of a council? Because like me myself, I there is not a single man on this planet that I will follow. I don't care who you are. I'm not following a single man.
Yeah, that's how my thing is. What I was trying to get earlier, how Hutch explained it. It's not going to be, this is that one leader. I see that as a cultish way.
Tell me, Hutch.
More than, you know, like kind of this is the council of this.
And there's a shitload of people I'd follow. There's a whole bunch of people I'd follow. I have no issues with that if they have a clear idea and plan, you know, destiny for the group.
Hutch,
would you go by the Constitution? Would that stay in y'all's mind? Like, because if shit hits the fan, this country is no more. If we go into a situation like this country is no more. Do we look back at the Constitution? Do we look back at how this country is? That what we go off of, or do we go a whole different way?
Yeah, but we don't
just the Bill of Rights. Yeah,
Bill of Rights would be the only foundation to go off of because everything else is going to be irrelevant. It's like, oh, do we need a Second Amendment? No, we're common sense. You got a weapon, carry that bitch. You know what I mean? Like it's
right. Exactly.
I got you.
I agree. Bill of Rights. Like that.
All right, let me ask you this then. Speaking on that, we're all in a mag together.
Mm-hmm.
You got a group of 5 people came in. They want to chill, but they got guns on them. Now we got to vet them. We got to see what's up, but you got to go through that process. Do they get to roll up in our shit with their guns all on them?
No.
And shit?
Hey, they're outside our country. All right, they're outside our little community country. They don't have the same rights.
Everyone that we don't know is our enemy until we know you.
Well, see here's
I agree on that, Native.
Yeah, here's something I want to point out about that. You know, any kind of a mag, you should have some overwatch or forward observers or whatever you want to call them. You know, there has to be people set in place to know when people are approaching well before we get a knock on the door, type thing.
Yes.
Somebody just all of a sudden, oh shit, there's somebody right here on us, you know what I'm saying? And some type of communication, if you're going to set up a mag, that's a must. I mean,
you figure it would be like one of the main, I mean, I consider it common sense, but just like you've got international waters and all this other shit, as soon as you figure out where your mag community, where the walls are, take it another quarter mile, half mile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you come inside of this line is when you start getting checked. Don't wait till they get to the gates to start checking motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. And you have a guy, and you have a way of contact, and to let hey, I've got somebody approaching, a couple of people are going to draw in, or maybe a couple of people from the mag come out, and then you have that one person, and maybe just off in the distance you allow like one other person to be seen, just to kind of put that thought process in someone's head of, damn, there may be a bunch of these people, I see another one out there, how many more have they got? So then they're going to be a little more, you know what I'm saying, if they are attack type people or whatever, they're going to be really cautious.
Okay, well, here's one for you then. If you set up your community for anybody, would you rather have a hidden location or a out in the open, just fortified, I wish a motherfucker would kind of location? You know what I mean? Like, do you want 100 feet of clearance on the outside of your walls, or do you want to be up in a mountain where nobody can ever find you? Like, what would you prefer?
I don't want 100 feet of clearing. I'd want like freaking 700 yards of clearing. Like,
right.
I'd want to help out. I mean, could you imagine people just being in a tree line 100 feet away? You'd be just getting picked off by it. Yeah.
You have to have a sizable trained force too to hold any kind of like castle, like you're describing, man. Like,
yep.
I'll try to hide, and do recon, have scouts way out in some way to signal each other.
See, Native, and that's where mags start warring with one another. More numbers, more people, that type of thing.
Here, I'll get everybody's feels. I don't think we're going to get, if it breaks down, you're not going to get to this point where you think there's individual freedom. You're going to have to go under some type of a strong arm, be it male, female, whatever the hell. But someone's going to have to rule. If you're a part of a group, someone's going to have to rule it and control it until it, blossoms into what will come afterwards. But in an immediate part, I don't agree with everybody in chat. So there's some people in there that don't want to be a part of anything, which I get. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't want to. But when you're by yourself, some asshole like me, if I don't die the first day, is going to be a part of a group that is just gung-ho on taking stuff from people I deem bad. Right? Yeah. Not saying I'd look at your group and be like, that guy's good. I'm not just going to attack everybody. I'm a good marauder, okay? I want to attack groups that I can see are doing wrong, right? But if you're just a lone wolf family that's just, I'll take care of my own, and I've got a house down the road that's going to take care of me. My band of 50 to 100 people that we're running around with, some of them might be loose cannons. And they might just be like, hey, that's an easy pickings house right there. And I wouldn't know what's going on, because just because you're in charge of a group doesn't mean you know the actions of everybody in the group. So you can have the greatest idea of like, oh man, this guy's been bringing in stuff all the time. Man, you're a star when it comes to scavenging. Yeah, that motherfucker's been hitting every freaking house around the area of all these lone wolf people that thought they were just going to not be controlled. There's going to have to be a period, I think, where you're going to have to be a part of leadership or follow leadership. No matter what.
Yes.
Just saying.
Well, Poppy, are you describing something that formed like after shift and you're just meeting people and bringing them in the beginning, or are you talking about where you've already vetted and you've already formed something before shift? Because then you can already put that structure in place where you're not following just one person.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be one person making all the rules. Everything's going to be delegated. You're going to have hierarchy, no matter what. I mean, even a dictator can't give 100 people an order to have them do different things to make it organized. You're going to have somebody. So it's going to. We act like we're in an awesome capitalistic society. We're the same king and queen freaking country that we've always been. There's always somebody with their right hands and their minister of this, and we're the same king and queen kind of country. We put it by a different name, and we give people a little bit difference on the taxing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we have freedom. All of our freedom gets freaking shit on 24/7, and they say it's all up for debate. Everything. The First Amendment's up for debate. The Second Amendment's up for debate. Well, it's all good except for it's not set in stone. No, motherfucker, it is set in stone. Oh, no, not this time. So we're in the same. Sorry, I'm going on.
It's our mag.
I'm going.
There's a saying. Rules are made to be broken. Like we're gonna have rules, and this is how it's gonna be. But that's not how it's gonna be. Like there's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have 4 or 5 people who don't even agree with it, but everybody's agreeing with it. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. Yep. And then as soon as ain't nobody looking, man, fuck all that, man. I'm gonna do what the hell they talking about, man. Yeah, and it's just gonna be that way, and it's gonna be that way with your own friends. How many times have you had, where you had one person thinking something, another person thinking something, and another person that you're real good friends with, but they're like, man, I ain't even going that route. I'm going this route. Yeah, but it's all good, man. I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way life is. It's human nature,
right?
Especially when you're dealing with a bunch of people. So you're gonna have a lot of it. I think you're gonna have a lot of, I'm gonna do what I want, especially in this country and the way everybody in this country has built it to where every family is a king and queen. Yes. Every family has their armed protection. That's why so many of us say things like, man, ain't nobody telling me what to do. And a lot of us think that way because it's the American way. Don't tell me shit, man. This America, we free to run our own shit. That could be a crutch in the long run.
You're alone and no one's got your back, or not enough people. I don't care how badass you are with a gun or your tactics or anything. You get 100 people to roll up on 5, the 100's going to win.
Yeah,
I think.
And what happens too, like if you're going to group up, there's got to be some ground rules, like a line that no one crosses. Like, what if, like, saying I'm gonna do my own thing, screw that dude, gets someone else's family killed,
right?
Like, directly. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be, like, you're right, man.
But
like,
if
I even feel that pride. I even feel that, like, man, I ain't listening to this motherfucker. I'm gonna go do this thing. But what if what I do gets like one of Pop B's kids killed or hurt, or just hurt? Not even just killed, just hurt.
Discipline, bro.
And the things we might do in shit hit the fan situations when shit's really bad, and all of a sudden, everything's going real good. We've had, 2 weeks, nothing has happened. Everybody's kind of laid back, kind of not on edge so much. And KC decides to walk outside the group and pick some strawberries or something out in the wild. Like, man, it's cool. Ain't nobody around. We done did the scouting, but there's some sneaky people and they get her. Who knows what you might have to do? You might have to get one of them and do some real medieval shit in order to get Casey back. Like, you just never know. And shit hit the fan. No rules. No governing power over top of people. Man, people gonna do whatever the hell they gonna do.
And see, on the other side of that too, it could be maybe 7 out of the 10 people are like, Casey's gone. All right, we got to find somebody else to fill her spot.
That's really true. That's true.
I mean? There's going to be some people like, oh my God, they killed your wife or your kid or whatever. And just like, oh, did they though? You know what I mean? And you're just like, all right, go have fun with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna come down to, well, is it gonna hurt the whole mag if we help one of us?
That too.
I mean, you're gonna have to deal with them situations too.
Hey, Miss Sharon's got something in there for you.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to bring up. I think on part of the vetting people, man, it's gonna be a really hard process. But you got to learn now to kind of read people, and actions are going to speak so much louder than anything anybody can tell me. You can sit there and tell me shit all day long. Okay, great. I want to see if you're serious about it. If it's somebody that gets in there and wants to, get into it, and somebody that really wants to, you know what I'm getting at. I mean, hey, look, I just want to join in. Look, I've got I've got sidearms and stuff. I've got this, man. Here, y'all take it. So until y'all trust me, let's, I want to come in. I want to join. People that are, not too overwilling, but people that are willing to get in there and work, I think is probably, and it's not like, on vetting people, it's not like you're gonna, well, you came in and you worked good for a week, so now we're just gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're just gonna trust you all the way. No, I mean, it's gonna have to be a long process and series, of things. I mean, look at how long some of us were talking and all that, but yet we weren't, we hadn't passed out phone numbers, you know what I'm saying? And look at, I mean, you see what I'm getting at. It's just going to take a long drawn out, the vetting process. You're going to have to be able to read people and understand their actions and not their words necessarily. But sometimes words do say a lot as well. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is it going to be too late when the shit pops off? If you ain't doing it right now, getting it started right now, go for it right now. Start working on this shit. This, when you get done watching this live, when we get up, should you constantly, because how drastic things are getting. How long do y'all think we got before some shit really start? I mean, I know there's shit popping off now, but when shit gets worse and worse, I mean, prices of shit's real bad. There's families out here hurting. You got shit being attacked in different places. We can sit up here and talk about these things, but when should people really start taking action? Like, hey, this is a necessity. Y'all, everybody needs to start thinking and doing these things.
2 years
Bro,
ago.
I'm asking these questions right now.
You're going to have a better chance doing it now and probably have a lot more honest people joining yourself right now. Because no matter what, charisma is going to fucking kill somebody. So someone's going to come by that has skills, but they're malicious, and you're going to vet them through because they're smooth talking people and they know what they're doing, and they're going to freaking, ride your tail for the whole time. And when they feel like it, they'll do something if they want to. Or maybe they're bipolar, or maybe they got some kind of disorder, and you think they're all good to go, and then one day they just freaking snap on you. No matter what, something's good. Murphy's going to get his. Murphy's going to come by and be like, "Oh, you had a perfect vetting process, and you let in the wrong person."
His name. What are you doing?
Right? See, that's the thing about start? Like, if you're in a group trying to find if you're running, everybody's at freaking out mass hysteria. You're like, "Oh my God, let me find my people." Yeah. The group is just going to navigate to whoever the slickest talking son of a bitch is at that time. And then that group is stuck with that person, because then you build the buddy system. The buddy's got all the weapons. You know what I mean? Hey, we need this done. You know what I mean? That, like, don't be part of the herd to find your group. Find it now. You know what I mean? Like, if you start right now, you're already late. You should have done that shit yesterday. You know what I mean?
How do you start? And for anybody in the chat, man, if y'all got some ideas, y'all throw it in there, because people watching this, they're gonna be reading the chat later and stuff. I know y'all got brilliant ideas in the chat too, but how does someone start, man? Like just Josh. I mean, he reached out to all of us and like, look, man, let's talk about this, man. I got questions. I'm like, damn, I got questions too. But how what do y'all think, man? Where do you start? If you're sitting at your house right now and you haven't thought about these things and you're like, damn, I really do need to connect. Where do you start?
Don't be great.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, don't be great. Always talk to everybody. You go to the doctors and you talk to your doctor. Ask him what he's doing. Ask him how he's doing. Get a conversation going with him, because that guy might not have anything planned because he's not a prepper or anything like that. And all of a sudden you got an asset. Maybe he's like, oh man, that's a good idea. Be like, hey, you should come see what I got. Yeah. You can always bring people under the fold, but you're gonna have to talk to everybody. You're gonna have to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You can't walk around hiding the fact that you can hide what you have. You can hide the amount of food you have and the guns you have and all this stuff you have. But if you hide who you are, for one, it's a cultural thing. But for two, you're never going to meet anybody, and the time's going to come when you're not going to have any connections, and you're going to be relying on what just Josh is afraid of right now, of rolling up on that wrong group. You know,
man, I can't turn back.
I don't mean that in a bad way, Josh. I ain't saying like afraid. Like,
I'm with you.
I would say
I tell you this,
who are willing to actually put in the work, because a lot of these groups, they'll just go to a park and sit around a fucking picnic table and talk all weekend and not do a damn thing. Like, oh, we're a mag, we're a bunch of killers. No. Find people that actually do shit and not just sit around talking about shit. You know what I mean?
I tell you this, and this goes back to what Pop B was saying. This is the God's honest truth. Where I'm pretty cool with my doctor. He's a young dude, man. He's straight up, no bullshit, and he watches out for me. And when this pandemic was about to hit, I was already on it. And I told him about it and was like, look, something, you know, he's a doctor and shit. And I'm like, look, shit's about to get really fucked up, man. There's going to be some crazy shit. He's like, oh, no, man, that shit happens all the time. Don't worry about it. I said, look, man, I'm telling you, you know, you don't know me personally, but I kind of stay up on some of these things that be going on, man, because I do this, I do that. And we started having the conversations. And I swear to God, it was like 2 weeks later. He called me on my phone and was like, man, you were absolutely right, man. He's like, I had no idea. I couldn't see it coming. You were 100% spot on. And ever since then, every time I see this dude, which is once a month, we have that conversation about food shit going on and the things. Like, he's more up on it by just talking to him and having that happen. Now he thinks about, he's got kids. He even talks about how he's getting canned goods and putting food away and shit. And I'm like, oh shit, I just, you know, got him. That's cool. That's cool.
Converted somebody.
Yeah. So don't be like Pop B said, talk to your doctor, talk to the librarian. If you go to the library,
you can feel people out, Josh. Feel them. I mean, you know, just start conversation, and then you'll know, like, do I keep on with this conversation, or is it going to bite me? Or you can feel people out.
You guys are already doing it anyways, like Native and Backwoods Hutch. All you guys are doing already. You're already trying to get a property. You're already trying to build a community. So your thing's already, you know, you've already got the groundwork started, talking about it and organizing for it. So
yeah, hey, I got a question. I'm dumbfounded by. I can't figure this out. So we say here, like, you know, once there's no power, no electricity, no water, infrastructure, things are gonna deteriorate to like The Walking Dead, right? But UKR, right? That hasn't happened over there. You know what I'm saying? Or has it? I don't know. Could it be? Could it be because, like, and I know it's gonna sound kind of, you know, but everybody kind of looks the same versus here where we've got different religions, we've got different races, we've got different cultures. Could that have something to do with it? Or am I just, you know?
could it have something to do with us looking differently?
I mean, the fact that UKR, who they're going through a war, they're you know, and they still haven't reverted to like Mags and Negan and Walking Dead and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But here we're like, it's coming.
I mean, that we know, but they're still getting paid and fed by, you know, our money.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not like, I mean, they're in a war torn country right now, but there's still the comforts of
gotcha. That makes sense. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Well,
bro.
There's networks and stuff you can look on. I mean, you just got to be careful. You got to learn some discernment. You got to learn some, you know, your gut feeling. I mean, you got to trust your gut feeling. I don't say too much, and I'm still not going to say too much about it. But, you know, I've noticed in a lot of chats, you know, about people saying, well, you should have started already. You know, why are we just talking about this? Well, the thing about it is that each individual don't know what each individual does in their daily life. Just because I don't get on here and talk about it don't mean it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's only so much I'm going to say. I'll tell you the best things I can figure out, but the whole thing on the mag deal, you know, it's got to be, you need to have already been working on it. You need to work on it. You need to make sure that you have a group of people close to you, you know, and it is hard. I met some people, you know, through the when I kind of did the you know, the militia stuff, you know what I'm saying? I met some people that live close, that trustworthy, and I've gotten to know them over multiple years now, you know. So it's really hard, man. We've had people fall off and people join anew, you know, that was a friend of this person over there, you know. And anybody, for one thing, in a mag, you know, if they don't want to just get to know you, you know what I'm saying? Like just want to get to know you, you know, for a little while and stuff, and kind of fill you out. If they're like, hey man, you know, we can let you in this mag, but you know, how much food you got, you know, how much this, how much guns you got, how much weapons you got, you know, what if they just automatically start grilling you, you know, I'm gonna say it's probably a red flag. You know what I'm saying? too much personal information. Everybody ought to understand this. I'm not sharing personal information, neither should anybody else, until you get to know people, and take it just like when you want to build a mag, take it just like you do with friendships every day, or people, someone you met on YouTube. There's the big get together that Ghost and Native are doing, in North Carolina. Go, if you can in any way possible go, because you're going to get to meet people. I mean, sometimes them mags need to not just be them few people that you got around you. You need to have a fallback location. I can tell you right now, Hutch already knows this. If something comes bad his way, he's probably jetting this way. And guess what? Hutch has got a place to stay. Same way. If it gets bad this way and shoves me towards him, I'm going to Hutch because I already know him. Because
I'm coming too, bro.
Absolutely.
I say this too.
I'm right in between you two.
I'm gonna need you to call first, Bobby.
I'll tell you a trick I use. It's not a trick that I use. Probably everybody does it, but yeah. I don't necessarily watch the person. I watch the people that person fucks with. If I see you can portray to be the greatest motherfucker in the world. You can portray to be the realest. But if you fuck with that motherfucker, and I know how them motherfuckers is, man, then I don't feel you, homie. Like seriously, you.
Yeah, I'm big on you're the company you keep.
Yeah,
the feather flock together. I'm, because they may be good at putting on their act, but if I get red flags from yours that are right there, with you, I got a problem. Because if you don't have a problem with how they are, then that's a problem for me. That's a red flag, like you said.
Hey, can I say this? Look, if I just happen, I don't know how, if I just happen to have to form a mag, right? And the thing with mags with me is, it's gonna start off as the people who we know. You know what I'm saying? The homies, the fam, the crew, the people you can trust. But then over time, there's gonna be stragglers that are gonna be coming in. They're gonna be bringing their bug out bags with their food, and you're gonna have to vet them. There's gonna be a lot of people looking for help. But if I had to start a mag, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and this is just how I operate. I will turn in an Negan. If I start something like that, it's gonna be the survival of my mag above all else. So if I got some dude rolling up in a truck with a ton of food, and I'm trying to provide for 20, 25, 30 people with just starting out, I'm sorry, y'all. But we're gonna greet them and be nice, but then I'm gonna make the call, get the food, and whatever happens to them, it happens to them. And I know that sounds bad, but I'm being real, and this is why I'm asking these questions, because if I start a mag, the survival of my mag is going to be absolute priority. That's why I'm not going to start one. But I'm just saying, all that nice
that's how it's got to be, though. That's how it's got to be. Like, even if you join somebody else's mag, I think you have to have that mindset.
Yeah. Rules? Bro, I'm not.
The shit hit the fan. It's survival.
That's how long you can shift before it starts turning back, because it won't be war forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, at a certain point, you're only going to need enough people to do the basics. You're not going to need a giant military force. Everything will eventually come back to some resemblance of
EROL,
small town America. All you know what I mean?
Excessive.
So, yeah. So like at a certain point, you got to be like, I don't really need 100 people, and 40 of them are soldiers, because it's hard to feed them. So I have to go out and pillage and rob and do all this other shit. Why don't I just get rid of 40 people? That way I know that what we got inside the walls takes care of us. Gotcha. Or at a certain point, like once you reach the threshold of what you're actually producing inside of your border, like when do you say, okay, we need so many people, y'all get out and go build something over there and start doing shit over there, and then we can be like sister cities. But like
I ain't trying to do that though. I hear you, Hutch.
You need to use your charisma, man.
I will. Trust me, I will.
Be a soft target and use your charisma. You can avoid all that confrontation. That was what Negan messed up on. He was confrontational. He would always do something stupid like killing somebody someone loved. All he had to do was be charismatic, and he had that going on for himself. He could have been a freaking king.
Hey, Casey says I smile and laugh too much. I do.
I didn't say you smile and laugh too much.
Just laugh. But look, I'm gonna be laughing the whole time. I'm gonna be taking people's stuff to feed my mag. Expansion, yeah, I'm gonna find hey fam, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just keeping it real. I'm gonna find the weakest mag, the closest weakest mag. And look,
what's going to happen after a year when you've already taken out all the weakest mags and all the strongest mags have heard of you?
I'm saying there's going to be a weaker mag to other mags. There's
exactly. So the people, there's going to be an influx of people constantly coming. This greeting party that we've created because we're organized. There's going to come every day. There's going to be 3 or 4 families coming and begging with their goods, with whatever they have.
It depends on where you're at, though. Like after the shift, you figure at least 50% of the population is dead, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
So automatically, the way it is, most people aren't going to be in the cities. They're going to be out in the woods anyway. So the chances of actually having somebody just walk up on you randomly about 6 months after is going to be slim to none, really.
I mean, 350
I don't
million.
think there's going to be. I mean, I don't know.
Tactical nukes, seriously, they're not going to destroy the entire country. They will take out infrastructure. It will take out any and everything dealing with infrastructure. But there's still going to be the zombies, the stragglers, people who don't know what to do, the people who got lucky like Pot B and just made it through the cracks, right? There's always going to be an influx of people coming.
Hey, I got a question for Pot B.
Let me have one thing real quick.
All right.
Everyone's getting at just Josh saying, "Are you a marauder now?" Because he was sitting there talking about taking a truck. How many for the people that watch The Walking Dead? If you want to get a good comparison, Jesus, right, stole a truck of food from Rick and freaking Daryl, right, and he took off. He stole all their stuff. He wasn't just some nasty marauder. He's a good guy. He just needed the food for his people. Yeah. So just because you take somebody,
trucks and cars like scoped out when the shit hits the fan, and there's no more government, and everyone's just hiding and running. I'm going to get that stuff. I've got it scoped out because we gonna need it.
Yeah, I don't want to start a mag. I'm not gonna start a mag. But if I did, hypothetically speaking, that's not my bag. I don't want to be in control of people like that because it's too much.
See, I would say the people who are talking about wanting to be lone wolves and stuff, you can. My bad. I'm trying to get in where I fit in, man. Like even if you're a lone wolf, you can still join a community, and then you could be like, you know what I mean? You could be like a nomad and still roam around. That way, you can have the best of both worlds. That way, you've always got a place to run back to. But you're going to need something eventually. You know what I mean?
Hutch, you're not gonna like me. You're not gonna like me for this one. But that ability to go and come is going to be based upon the leader of that mag, and he may not be a good guy.
Right.
We tapping in, bro.
It was a question for Pot B, but it makes me think about Native too, because I think about Native tribes back in the days. They wouldn't stay in one place, They'd pack up and move to different places. Maybe better weather, maybe the buffalo are going to be here, this and that and this and that. If you have a mag, say 10 to 20 people, maybe 30 people, should you be a mag that constantly moves, or should you have a foundation base and try to hold that down the whole time?
Never heard this before. Tap in.
Well, I mean, they're like my people, my tribes here in the Eastern Woodlands, they had like set places and land that they owned year round. But the nomadic tribes out on the plains and stuff, like they would form family bands, and like in winter they would all go to their camps, which were hidden and private. And then some of the family bands, like when they would come to hunt the buffalo in the plains, they would all come together and form like a huge bivouac, because that was the time when rival tribes would most likely attack you to get your goods and stuff.
And they had if they had to do that for survival. I think it depends on your location if you have to do that. You're surrounded. I mean, what if you're having to move around? If you're set where you're at, you're fine. But if you're like, oh, we have to move periodically.
But how strong are you going to be 30 deep?
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think maybe having that movability, and plus, what if you got a scout out there, keeping an eye on the place, and he comes running back, I come running back, I'm like, Pot B, Hutch, man, there's 4,000 motherfuckers headed our way, man. We got to get the fuck. You got to have a plan in place to where, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here, man. It's just the way it is. We got to beat feet. You know what I mean?
So you
it's
have
like,
fall back and fall back and fall back, and then
Yeah.
and it's
And-
like
and-
it's like
and-
like what Hutch is building, like what Hutch is building with the underground.
I
yeah.
might roll with that one.
And you'd have to
got
have a
railroad.
plan in place. You like
Yeah.
you know the tribes. You know they had all you know who they break down the tents, the TPs. They put all the stuff to travel. You know they had an organization thing going on to. They still do it, and you know, out in Alaska, I forget where it was. I seen it, man. They do it now, where they'll set up shop. They'll be there for a week because they're fishing in certain spots where there are a bunch of fish that comes in, and then boom, they break everything down like real quick, and it's like a little village, and then they break it all down, and boom, they scoot on out the way and go to the next place where they need to do shit to survive. And I think you would have to have that kind of organization and that kind of thing going on. I'm not.
Why'd your mic go off?
Plug it in, bro. Plug it in.
It muted again.
Gotta knock the dust off of it. It's been so long.
Hey, Tribe, mine will do that if the cord jiggles. It'll mute my mic.
See, I mean, like, so if you did the
Gotta get this
opposite
fixed.
of just Josh and you didn't murder every random motherfucker that came looking for help, like you could build alliances with other communities and you would have those trade lines and those places
There you
to fall
I like
back
that.
if you, because like if you had a community of 40 or 50 and then you have a group of 200 coming at you, you can't, oh my God, I don't have enough soldiers. Okay, but we've got these connections. I can hit this person up, be like, hey, send me some men from here. You know what I mean? That way you don't have as much burden to keep your people alive. Plus, you know that somebody's got your back. And if somebody does come walking up to your door, you know, a community struggling, they're looking for people. Hey, I'm going to send you over here. I'm going to hook you up with these people. If you're struggling and you need people, they can do the same. You know what I mean? Like it's all benefit having those supply lines. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look at how, you know, even going back to the older times and stuff, you know, people did barn raisings and, you know, things like that. You know, this group of people would go over and help this group of people, you know, and they traded each other. You got to set up some trade routes and things like that, you know, because you don't want to get yourself, just Josh, like into that situation to where you're knocking everybody off. Right. And then, you know,
I'm not starting to make, bro.
Hold on. I'm just saying, let's say a tornado comes through your area and hits y'all's property. You know what I'm saying? And it wipes you out, man. And you're like, dang, you know, but you've had this setup with this group over here, this group over here, this group over here. You know, they know. You know what I'm saying? They know, and that you just got hit, and so you can disperse out, you know, into 2 or 3 of the groups and build the 3 groups stronger until y'all can either rebuild or y'all may just go ahead and decide to stay, you know, there. Just making enemies is a bad thing, man. I'm just saying, making enemies is bad. Just like right now, man, you don't want to make enemies, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's some sneaky folks, man. Some devious folks, man. They'll do shit to you. You ain't even know what happened yet, man.
Yeah, bro. You know I'm Mr. I love everybody. You know that, man.
No, man. You just said you was killing everybody, man.
I'm not starting to make.
We all gonna die,
right?
823.
They all gonna die.
No, I'm not starting to make. That's why. Yeah.
You know, at what point do you think it breaks down from mags and tribalism into building society?
I think that's where he's trying to be slick. He's like, I'm not building a mag, I'm building a dictatorship. You know,
no, bro.
Right?
I mean, he's trying to get us with semantics right now.
No, man. I don't want it. I got too much to deal with as it is.
It's always the nice guy who's always laughing and giggling and loving everybody who's the real threat.
First year path.
This is
right.
And this is why I was talking about earlier, is to have conversations with people. And I said, you know, actions speak louder than words, but then sometimes words do matter, you know. And this guy right here, see what I'm saying? Just let him keep on speaking, man. Keep on talking, man. We got you. We got you figured out, bro.
Casey.
Don't call on me now. It's been eye-opening.
No, I'm just saying.
Little did you know, Josh, this whole thing, we were just vetting you, man.
Right?
No, bro. I hear you. Hey, man, I'm just no, seriously. But from this live, so seriously, if I do join a mag, they've got to be organized. I want to see the greeting committee, the greeting crew. I don't know how many people it's going to be. Hopefully, it won't be more than 10 armed. They need to come out and say, "Hey, look," and we have a discussion. What happens if they tell me to disarm? Casey, you gonna put your things down? Off top, you just met them. We're the greeting crew.
Well, I mean, if you were on their side, if you were the one having someone come in, would you want them to disarm?
I mean, neutral. You just walked up. This is the greeting committee. Eight guys armed coming out. Who are you? Where you from? And you tell them, hey, look, I'm thinking about joining the mag. You're armed. They're armed. It's level playing field. I'm not even saying anybody else is with you. But they say, okay, look, why don't you come in and we'll talk. We'll sit down and we'll talk about this. You'll be fine. You won't be harmed. You're free to go, but you need to disarm.
Are you talking about today times?
No.
Yeah, I think.
No. After,
No.
you know, when you can't find freedom seeds, it's like they're scarce, but you seem to have a full thing ready to go. Yeah. If they say you must disarm, is that a red flag? Do you turn around and say, oh no, I'm not going to disarm?
I mean, I don't. I mean, if they stayed armed, but I mean, you could be in that opposite position, right?
Casey.
You don't.
Yes, Josh. Yes.
Casey.
You may be on the opposite side.
Do you put it down on the ground?
What would you think? And I think that's part of feeling it out. You have
So,
to really
okay,
think
all right,
hard.
okay,
You feel
so-
threatened? Are they coming across?
You want to be a part of a
Maybe
group that
threaten
didn't
them.
make strangers disarm? Would you want to be a part of a group that didn't make strangers disarm?
That's what
Like,
I'm
if
saying.
you're bringing your
That's what I'm saying. If
family,
you're on the opposite side, you say, "Well, we're trying to vet this person. We know our people."
Yeah.
But I'm trying to vet
Casey,
this
are
person.
you going to
just
take it off your side and put it on the ground and say, okay, let's talk? Because if they
And
if
I'm
they
just
have
alone. Like I have no other group. I'm
yeah,
just
it's
alone.
just you.
I would have to, wouldn't I? Because why would I turn and say
That's the
I
question.
would expect them to do that also? Because they don't know who I am.
No,
And
they're
if
not
I
gonna
was on
disarm.
the opposite side, I would say I'm not just letting some stranger walk in here like that.
Gotcha. Okay. These are the questions. No, seriously.
You need to be taking notes.
I am.
I have a
I don't-
question for the panel as a
Yeah.
whole. Since we're talking about this stuff,
No.
man, we're on the verge of World War III and nuclear war and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Let's say it's been a year in, and you found a group, and you guys are working it out and figuring out how to survive together and stuff, and you're really starting to form like your own little, like Pop B said, like your own little society. You're establishing it. You have a supply chain. You've met with other groups, and then this military unit runs up on you guys or one of your scout patrols and said, "Hey, we're from the government of the United States of America. We're trying to reestablish stuff. You need to recognize our authority." You're gonna say, "Hell no, there ain't no United States. Where you been for a year, man? There's no more United States of America."
Get them native.
I mean, do you take that stance, or do you want the old regime to come back and reestablish their stuff? I mean, what is the protocol for that? You know what I'm saying?
Hell no, they start speaking about we're from the government. They getting shot, man, because the government is the ones that put us in shit hits the fan anyway with their dumb choices. Why the hell would I? Man, I'm telling you, that's the wrong words to use. Don't come to my place, man, talking about, hey, we trying to establish a new government. Pow, pow. There's you.
Like shit, I was the one that
There's my
hit
2
motherfucking
cents.
ball. Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
It's coming.
Yeah, but
EROL.
what if that person trying to establish a government would be the beginning of society, and you just picked a fight with like a badass connected group because it was like, I don't know, 70 communities that have all been linked together?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's a lot to say that, I don't want to be controlled, I don't want to be governed, but
I don't want to be. If America collapses, I don't want to be a part of them anymore. I want to build my own thing. I don't care how many groups.
eventually it's going to be a fight.
Eventually.
No matter what. You could, I get that. I get that. But you're going to have to do some guerrilla warfare and all that, some fourth generational fighting, because, I mean, if they're going to reestablish, they ain't going to stop until we all know what the land is, We're just going to keep going. And it's going to keep expanding until people get to a stopping point where there's no use in fighting and there's more use in diplomatic, means.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the Negans
This
are going
is
to
our
go war.
land. Don't cross our border. This is ours. That's yours. You cross the border, it's war.
I would guarantee though, if people don't wipe out Wicked, you're going to end up with the same kind of freaking. You're not going to have a freedom loving country. You're going to have pick another country.
Yeah. AKC.
Or freedom.
Luckily, Casey, we tap in on this and we know it's coming to a certain extent.
Yeah.
We all know what's coming.
We know it's coming. We just don't know the exact details of how it's going to play out. I think.
But look, we do know that it's going to be EROL, excessive rule of law. What is coming afterwards?
Yeah.
So there's going to be we got to survive the initial tactical, whatchamacallits. We got to survive WRL and shift. Then we're going to have to survive the mags. I'm not trying to scare y'all and then legit, Pi B, we're going to have to survive them trying to come back and reestablish some form of a system, which we know will happen.
Yeah.
Is that going to be our GOV, or is that going to be the Red Dragon, or is that going to be, who knows? But we got a long road ahead of us.
Let me say something. We only got 10 minutes left, and I want to throw this out there real quick. I just want to throw some appreciation to everybody in the chat, everybody that joined us tonight, hung out with us, watched us, stuck in there with us, had this conversation with us, man. I appreciate y'all more than y'all ever know. And I know I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but I know y'all feel the same way, man. Like, we really appreciate y'all being here. This has been really awesome. But there's just one thing I want to ask, because it was the title to the thing, man. It was the title to the whole show tonight. Are we going to be in control? When all this shit goes down, are we going to be in control of our lives, or are we going to be ruled by a tyrannical dictatorship, crazy ass, iron-fisted government? What do y'all think? Y'all think we're going to be able to hold our own as just people? Because I see us having a hard time doing that right now. But as far as them flexing their muscles on us all the damn time, what do y'all think? Do y'all think we'll hold our own, or do y'all think that some
of us
bad
will.
government?
I think that a lot of people. I think so many people are going to die from what's happening. Like, we talk about it all the time, and myself included, we say hard things and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this or that." It's gonna be terrible, man. Tribe's right. We're all gonna be broken human beings when we come through this. We're all gonna have to heal through it. But I'm shout out to Leslie in the chat. Give me liberty or death. Ain't gonna be no tyrannical for me, man. Like, I would rather my whole family die free and ready to go than to go into some oppressive regime like China or something, or North Korea or something like that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let it happen.
I think we need to kind of look at the fact of there's so many different things that can happen, and we're not sure exactly what's going to happen. I mean, what if they do, hit us with a nuke in Yellowstone? That's gonna be a whole different concept than an EMP. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be so much death, so much stuff destroyed. With the nuke, or whatever. That's and we don't even know, because that's not too far off from the New Madrid fault. That's here, up there just above Arkansas and right in that area. We don't know what the type of weapon that they have nowadays will actually do when it hits in that kind of area. But we could have a total collapse of the economy. And then, on top of that, a collapse in economy, we could have a total fallout of our government. That's going to be a different situation as well. You know what I'm saying? China could, Russia, China, they could team up and hit us hard with an EMP, invade. A lot of people say, well, that can't happen. Bullshit. If you think that can't happen, you need to get your head out of the sand, and you need to understand the world. Because people need to stop thinking, when it comes to foreign things, you need to stop thinking like Americans. You have to think like foreign foreigners do, because China has a whole different way, a set of values, a set of belief systems than we do. Russia does too, Iran, all these different people have different thought processes. So to say that we couldn't be invaded, man, you're way off point. I'm just saying. So there's going to be a lot of different circumstances. You know what I'm saying, Tribe? I believe that will cause, should we be in control of our lives or a complete government control. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no doubt. It might not be our government that's in control. Just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're at that 5-minute mark, and I don't want to run over 2 hours because I think this has been a great show, man. And if you stay under that 2-hour mark, maybe, just maybe, YouTube can share this with a couple people who might not be taking this shit serious, and we might actually help somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if any, I do want to tell everybody in the chat though that Tennessee Tactical One is going live after this, and he has a great show. It's a little bit more upbeat. It's one of my favorite live streams. It's funny. You'll have a good time. Make sure y'all head on over there. If you ain't got nothing to do after this, y'all want to just check him out. Maybe go throw a like on it, even if you can't watch because you got something to do. Go over there and show some love, man. He's a great dude. He's going hard on his channel. He's trying his best. He's doing a great damn job. I love his channel. I love what he does with these live streams. So go over there and check my man out, Tennessee Tactical One. If we could drop a link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Any of y'all got anything y'all want to throw out there? We got 4 minutes.
No, I appreciate all of you, chat, everyone on the panel. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate you.
Thank you,
All right.
Josh.
All right, then we're gonna wrap it up. We'll tap back in. We'll all be tapping into some more shit like this, man. We'll get it in, man. I really appreciate y'all being up on the panel, man, hanging out and getting into all these things, man. It's a deep conversation, man. It needs to be talked about. With all the shit that's going on, we need to stop worrying about like entertainment news and which actor is doing this and which. We need to start worrying about what the hell is going on in this country because there's some serious shit going down, man, every day.
Yeah.
100%.
Seriously. Hey, they were.
No, you got it.
I was just saying, that list, they were all on it. I'm just saying. I know it's random, bro. I'm just saying,
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, check the list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We're gonna stab out. We're gonna call it, man. It's a great time. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for being here and hanging with us. 823. We'll see y'all soon.
823.
Cheer, 823.